We are here today, guys, with the final of the whole Trinity. Yes, I know this was meant to be on a Monday because that's how the schedule goes, but you guys know I'm very bad with schedules, and every single time I've had a schedule I've ruined it. But here we are finally. This is the final vehicle of the supercar Holy Trinity. This is a 2014 Porsche 918 Spider. Now, disclaimer, if I know this, the way Porsche is said is Porsche. If I default back to saying Porsche throughout this video, it is because I am British and that is how it is usually said, okay? I'm going to try to say Porsche, but if I forget, if it just slips my mind and I say Porsche, I do know what I'm saying, it just slipped my mind, okay? Anyway, so, like I said, this is 2014 Porsche 918 Spider. And well, if you want to obtain this car in Forza Motorsport 7, well, you'd obviously want to, the first place you would look is to buy it. Well, you can't. You have to complete it on the showcase event. It's one of the earliest showcase events, so that's no problem. It's relatively easy. So don't go, just, go into Forza Drivers Cup, go and do the Forza, one of the showcases, and you've got it. But once you obtain this car, you get quite big 887 horsepower, 829 foot-pounds of torque, weighing 3,692 pounds. It's got 265s on the front, 325s on the rear, sport tyres standard. So usually that would be pretty decent, but they are on relatively the small side. They are only sport tyres. They're not exactly the most grip edge because they're just front and around. And I'm actually trying to drive this thing, but if you put too much power down, it will slide much easier than any of the other Holy Trinity cars. It does have an awful lot of power, don't get me wrong. 887 horsepower will, spin the back tyres up. To be fair, this car is all-wheel drive. It's mid-engine. For it to be this slidey isn't unheard of. Although, I would like this car. Sorry, I've got the burps. I've not even drank or eaten anything like at the last hour. I just got the burps all of a sudden as soon as I started making a video. But yeah, to be this oversteered is not unheard of. I would like this being in the Supercar Holy Trinity to be better. But then again, the other cars aren't the most grippy things. They aren't, easy to drive. So why would this one? This, like I said, is all-wheel drive mid-engine. You guys know that. It has a 4.6 litre V8, which also has two electrical motors, one on the front axle, one on the rear axle. That's unnecessary in Forza. You should know you've got two electrical engines. That's what makes it much heavier than the other Holy Trinity cars, but it even has less horsepower. So how does that work? Well, it's the all-wheel drive system really. It goes from 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds, 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds, 60 to 0 in 120 feet, 100 to 0 in 279 feet, with a top speed of 213 miles an hour. Now, the issue with this car, for me, is it's just boring. It's got all-wheel drive, 800 horsepower. Oh, that's just what you would do if you're building a car in Forza and it was not very controllable. Yes, it's different. It needed to be different. It's in the Holy Trinity. It's got to be good. This is my least favourite. Not because it's a Porsche, not because it's German, not because of any of that. I just don't like it. And it really just is a car which I don't enjoy driving. It's a little too understeery, and then when it's not understeering, it's really oversteery, and it'll have this weird neutral steer state, which all all-wheel drive cars have, don't get me wrong, but this just does an awful lot. You'll see me coming around some of these corners and it just starts sliding, and I won't be able to control it. Well, I will. I've just got to turn in really hard or counter steer the other way round, and yeah, it's very easy to drift. But for a race car, for a good driving car, I'm not a fan. And, I don't know, it just seems a bit boring. It just seems a bit businessman's-like. And it's a Porsche 918. Who's ever said that? Well, it is. I mean, I like the big air on the back of it. That's really it. Anyway, we must now go and see how it does against the other of the Holy Trinity, obviously. Now, this will have a big advantage in the quarter mile. It has all-wheel drive. But we do find out from the quarter mile that in the challenge the LaFerrari won, and again the LaFerrari does win this challenge because in 4th place is the Porsche 918 with a 9.560. The LaFerrari got a 9.543, so it's very close, and the McLaren P1 got a 9.676. So They're all relatively close on the table. We now must take it to do a drift. Do the drift challenge. And you guys know, most of the time when we take high power all-wheel drive cars, they do relatively well. That's because I'm very good at drifting these types of vehicles. They're much easier to control. Oh my god, I'm slurring all my words. I'm sorry if you guys can't understand me. But yeah, this was not a hard car to drift. It was much easier than the other two, which meant I could get higher drift scores easily. It was so much easier. In fact, I got way too confident with this thing and crashed it a couple of times. But, you know, that happens. Probably. Yeah. This is about the only thing I enjoy doing with the 918. Because its gear ratios are good for it, it's relatively easy to control, but then you'd want it to do better, and that would really irritate you, because you'd want to do better, and then it wouldn't have the capacity to do any better than what it was doing. And eventually I was really happy when the 15 minutes was over with that you get to do these drift challenge, like these drifts, kind of review parts. I was just so happy because at the start, it's very easy to drift. It's got all this power. Most of the power goes to rear wheels, which is why it spins them up an awful lot. I think it's like a 75-25 distribution or something like that, 60-40. I'm not entirely sure. But like, it's just this car. I'm really not a fan of it. That obviously did not deter me. Even I've had cars which I've liked even less, and they've done better than cars I absolutely love. So it's not a car. It's not a thing where my bias is going to ruin it. Because, well, I'll tell you now, as we cross the line in the Porsche, it does look incredibly good while drifting. It probably looks the most comfortable while doing it. But yeah, as we come across the line, the Porsche 918 got a good lap of, let me find it, I did just see, there it is, it's a 33,937, which puts it into 8th place. If we try and find the next one, that's in 18th place for Ferrari, which was 26,500. The Macan P1 is in 20th place with 25,377. So, you know, I'm not biased by any means, but we must now take it to our dedicated test track, the Suzuka Full Circuit, to see how this car can do. And I was initially very worried when I came to this car, because I knew how difficult it was to get around a circuit without getting it sliding. Yes, we saw the P1 slide a little bit, but it was like not enough to ruin the lap time. And so here we are coming on the S-Bends, and this is really where the Porsche had a massive issue. It just wanted to slide, and I'm having to take such little speed, little throttle inputs, because it just wanted to slide. It just wanted to get all over and not do what you wanted it to do, or just do anything it wanted to do. Coming around to the Dunlop curve, again we can't take this flat out. The car is just way too fast. It doesn't have enough grip to take that flat out. Instead, Degner's is very good. It's incredible on this brakes, this car, so that wasn't a problem. But as you see, it just let the tail just let go. That was not purposeful. It looked awesome, but you know, that happens. We've seen cars have bigger slides and still pull up pretty good lap times. Now it's uphill hairpin. This is where the LaFerrari and the P1 struggled because they couldn't get the power down. The 918 not so much. It does burst into a little bit of wheel spin. That's because of the power distribution goes to the rear more than the front, although the front is pulling up, so it's not that bad. Coming around to this long right hander now, and again this Porsche just wanted to slide around here. Don't get me wrong, you could seriously slide this thing around this circuit. It's so easy. Now coming up to Spoon, and as you see, that understeer really did catch me out when I came to Spoon for this hot lap. It just, you know, I couldn't do anything about it, and then when I was too scared to put more power on, so I was too scared for it to oversteer. We're now coming onto the back straight. We got to around 160 miles an hour, which is slower than we've seen the other two cars get. We do know this is slower overall. It does accelerate a little bit quick, but it does weigh a little bit more, so when it gets to them high speeds, it's not very good. 130R, it was very easy to get around. It was no drama there. Now comes to the Castro Triangle. This is where this car is going to have the biggest advantage on the P1 and the LaFerrari, because it's got the all-drive system to boost it out of the corners. We're now coming to the final corner now, and it's now accelerating very fast in the 918 towards the straight. And you know, I say this car's not good, but it is incredibly fast, it is incredibly good. And we crossed the line with a lap time of a 2:13.628, which puts it into third position. Just losing out to the P1, which got 2:13.391, but it is obliterated by the Ferrari LaFerrari, which got 2:10.806. So, it is better at drifting than the two of them. It's better than the P1, but slower than the LaFerrari at a drag race. But it is the worst at the circuit. You know, that's not helped us determine anything. But look, this is me actually trying to. I'm not purposely drifting this thing right now. This is just how it would go if you try to race this thing hard. That is just how bad this car is to drive. I just don't. I'm really not a fan of this car. And you know, we all have cars we don't like. And unfortunately, the Porsche 918 is a car that I just don't like. And in that scenario, I can't do anything about it. I tried liking this car. I so wanted to like this car. But I just can't, because I don't enjoy driving it. And that's the sad reality of it. So, obviously you should obtain it in Forza Motorsport 7. You need to do the showcase event free. You don't have to pay any money for it, so it's not an issue. But is it any good compared to the other two, in my opinion? No. This is a car I would never choose to drive. I'm gonna be completely. I would never choose to drive this car. I would much rather take the LaFerrari, much rather take the P1 than both of them. But if I had to take the LaFerrari, I'd rather take the LaFerrari. This is the last car I'd come to drive out the Holy Trinity. It's my least favorite, my least favorite car to drive the Holy Trinity. My least favorite car to look at. My least favorite car to listen to. But yeah, it's not a bad car by any means, and I know some of you guys out there will love the Porsche 918 more than any car ever, and you will hate the P1. And you have to respect, we all have differences. We all think differently of cars, and you know, this is just my kryptonite. I just don't like this car. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. We've now finally got through all of the Supercar Holy Trinity. Next time we might go back on to the Hot Hatch week, which we was meant to do before the last DLC came out. That kind of went to pot. So that might happen. We might go to do some other cars. Comment down below what car you want to see me review, you want to see me drive, my opinion of it. You can ask me to take a car which I really dislike and, you know, hate on it, or a car I really like, and I'll review it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video and this car review, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more car reviews every single week, even if it's not on the same day, but they are every single week on the TMDC Players YouTube channel. Like I said, comment down below what car you want to see me review next, and we might just get to it. Anyway, that's it from me, TMDC Hyper, signing out.